Whatever life throws at you, you have in you. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. You have in you to handle it. You have built-in greatness. You have built-in power, authority, and dominion to handle whatever life throws at you. And life is going to be throwing a lot of stuff. Nobody's going to be spared.
I took my pain and turned it into a 4-year degree. I took my pain and turned it into a master's degree. I took my pain and turned it into a PhD. Listen to me. I cannot stop what happens to me, but I can dictate how I respond.
Unavoidable suffering. But suffering is a choice.
I need you to do me a huge favor. Just write it down. You'll get to it later. I just need you to identify what your pain is. And then I need you to ask yourself what you're going to do about it. Are you going to let your pain break? Look, you have a choice how you respond to your pain. And some of you in this room, for real, I'm just going to be honest with you. You got to get over, like you're getting wimpy on me. You're getting soft on me. You are not the only person that's been through a divorce, boo. Get over it. You're not the first one. You won't be the last one. You can turn that divorce into something. You're not the first one you're not the first one to lose your promotion and get fired. You're not the first one. You're not the first one. You're not the first one they let go of. You won't be the last one. The question is what you're going to do about it. You're not the first one. And the problem with some of you in this room, you will never be great because every time you go through pain, every time you go through a problem, every time you go through discouragement, you give up and you quit and you do not understand that at the end of pain is your millions. At the end of pain is your reward. At the end of pain is your productivity. At the end of pain is your promise. So do me a favor. Stop crying about it.
And here's what I will share with you. That in the process of working on your dreams, you are going to incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain, a lot of setbacks, a lot of defeats. But in the process of doing that, you will discover some things about yourself that you don't know right now. What you will realize is that you have greatness within you. What you'll realize is that you're more powerful than you can ever begin to imagine. What you will realize is that you're greater than your circumstances, that you don't have to go through life being a victim.
One of the things that we know about life is that it is always changing. Sometimes you're up. Sometimes you're down. Sometimes things go real well, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes you're happy, and sometimes you're sad. Now that's that thing called life. And when we begin to understand and know that, accepting that reality that we will never ever have things just on an even keel all the time, that you're going to have some ups and you're going to have some downs. But during those down moments, that's where the growth takes place. That's where the work is. See, anybody can feel good when they have their health, their bills are paid, they have happy relationships, the children are acting normal, business is successful. Anybody could be positive then. Anybody can have a larger vision then. Anybody can have faith under those kinds of circumstances. Am I correct? Yes. See, but the real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down. Somebody said that adversity introduces a man to himself or a woman. How you handle it, that's where the growth takes place.
There are some things in life that are out of your control that you can't change and you got to live with. The choice that we have, though, is either to give up or keep on going. I want to ask you, what are you going to believe? Are you going to believe in yourself? Are you going to believe everybody else's judgment on you? Are you going to believe people when they say that you're a failure? Well, no one really likes you, no one really cares about you. And it's not really to say that, hey, you need someone to come up and say, hey, really, I like you, I care about you. No, it's not that, but it's the fact that people put you down. People don't even look you in the eye. People ask you how you are, and you say fine, but you're not fine, and they'll never know that. I tell you, life is interesting. Life's a journey. See this? phone here. Let's say that I want to go to the phone, right? And I start from over here. Now, to get to the phone, it's not like I'm going to start meditating and going hum, right? And float across the air, right? It's not going to work. It's not like I'm going to go hum and woo, you know, it's not going to work. So I have to take one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. You can only, I don't care how big your step is, it's only one step at a time. You can't do 2 steps in one. You understand? So it's like one step at a time. And you take steps in this direction, you take steps in that direction. You sort of get lost along the way, and sometimes you fall down. Now, to illustrate my point, I'm going to jump. We need to understand this, is that when someone says everything's going to be okay, how can you tell me that everything's going to be okay when you don't know my pain? That there is no hope in comparing each other's sufferings. There is no hope in knowing that somebody else is suffering more than you. What hope is that? But the hope is in the name of the Lord. That we as brothers and sisters would hold hands and point everybody to the truth and the foundation of knowing that only God is the one who can tell you everything's going to be okay, because He knows the plans He has for you. We don't know the plans, and He doesn't let us know the entire plan. We don't know the next step. I trust in you. I don't see where I'm going. I don't understand my circumstance, but I trust in you. I believe that you know the tears that I cry. And I believe that you will never leave me, because the Bible says so.
You should keep going. You already in enough pain. Get a reward for it, bro. Discipline says, keep your eye on the prize. The prize is more important than the pain. Discipline is constantly making the right choices.
But this is the thing. It should be impossible for me to get back up, but it's not. You see, I will try 100 times to get up, and if I fail 100 times, if I fail and I give up, do you think that I'm ever going to get up? No. But if I fail, I try again and again and again. For as long as I try, there's always that chance of getting up. Does that make sense? And it's not the end until you've given up. And just the fact that you're here should persuade you that you have another chance to get back up. There's still hope. I'm not here today to tell you that I understand your pain. I don't know how it feels to be abused. I don't know how it feels to feel, quote, fat and you've got an eating disorder. I don't know how it feels to have a broken home. I don't know how it feels. But I know how it feels to have a broken heart. And I know how it feels to be alone. But I just want you to know that it's not the end. It matters how you're going to finish. Are you going to finish strong? And you will find that strength to get back up.
She had a hunger to learn.
Everything you're going through is preparing you.
You have a choice, because you can suffer or you can choose to do whatever you need to do to liberate yourself, whatever you need to do to reinvent yourself, whatever you need to do to get the help that you need to overcome whatever you are stuck in right now. It does not have to be your residency. And finding peace. Make that a priority. People talk about goals and dreams. You know how many people have achieved their goals of earning a lot of money, of becoming celebrities, and are miserable? Look here, I've lived that life. And what's important is to know that your life has meaning. What's important is to know that you're on a mission. What's important is to live life with a sense of urgency. What's important, that we have a limited time of being here. What's important, that we must keep it moving. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Do what you can do, and God will do what you can't do.
I want you to look at something right now. Think of some major goal you want, or maybe it's one you're already working on and you have experienced a lot of setbacks, a lot of defeats. You've experienced a lot of disappointment. Maybe you've already given up. And maybe you just need a little fire, a little encouragement to get back in the game again. Here's what I want you to look at. There are winners, and there are losers, and there are people who have not discovered how to win. And all they need is some coaching. All they need is some help and assistance, just a little support. All they need is some insight or a different strategy, a plan of action to make some adjustments that will open up the key to a whole new future for them, that will give them access to the unlimited power that they have within themselves. That's all that they need. So what I want you to do is think about something you want for you, that's real for you. Your dream is possible. But not only is it important that you believe and begin to know that it's possible for you to live your dream as you run toward it, but I've done something that I want to share with you called Choosing Your Future. In fact, I've developed a set of tapes talking about how to begin to create your own reality by choosing your future. And not only is it important for you to know it's possible for you to choose your future, but it's necessary that you work on yourself, that you develop yourself. It's necessary that you get the energy drainers out of your life, people who don't want anything. It's necessary to know that everybody won't see it, that everybody won't join you, that everybody won't have the vision. It's necessary to know that a lot of people like to complain, but they don't want to do anything about their situation, that you are an uncommon breed. You know, you have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself. That's necessary. It's also, ladies and gentlemen, necessary that you be creative when you're working on your ideas, that you understand the importance of changing up, of readjusting your strategies. Many times we can have a great idea, but if you're not advancing it in the right way and things don't happen, you become discouraged and think the idea doesn't work. No, that's not true. It's necessary that we become creative.
As we push through everything that other people give up about. And how do we do that? There's a part of you that will make that push. It just needs to be the part you nurtured more. Whatever you feed gets bigger, gets stronger. So you got to feed the best part of yourself every day. You got to demand the best part of you. You got to not settle for less than you can be or do or share or create or give. You got to not tolerate the stuff you used to tolerate in yourself. That doesn't mean you're inhuman. It doesn't mean that you don't have bad moments. It just means they're moments. They're not days, weeks, months, and years. It's not that you never come down. It's not that you never get knocked down. It's that you get up quickly and keep moving forward. If you keep moving forward, you will achieve whatever you dream. But you got to keep moving forward. And what will hold you back is only one thing. Fear. Fear you're not enough. Fear you don't know enough. You don't have to know enough. And whether you're enough or not, something loved you enough to give you the gift of life, a beating heart in your chest that you did not earn. Something in this universe, call it God, call it the universe, call it whatever you want to call it. Something expects you to become something more. That's why it feels so good to become more, to give more, to do more, to shape more, to break through, to overcome your fears, to strengthen yourself. And most will miss that incredible nectar of growth and expansion and contribution and meaning and impact and achievement because they let their fear dominate them. It's okay to have the fear. What we got to do is to be able to get beyond it and know it's just fear and not let ourselves come up with a story, because the story that protects you from your fear is also the story that imprisons you. Everyone on earth has two primary fears.
You have an appetite for winning. Your hunger will drive you every day. Your hunger. I was willing to give my life for this game. I gave my life for this game, and I'm still here, and I don't regret it one bit. Because whether you make it to the NFL or not may be inconsequential in God's plan for your life. But if you have what it takes to be that player, you're going to be okay in life because of the work that you put in. Because the attitude, the motivation, the inspiration, the drive that you put into the game, the heart, is going to carry you over into every aspect of your life. You see, my spirit, my mindset, it never changed. It never changed when I could no longer use my right arm and I had to go through life with my left hand and I had to go back to school and learn how to write all over with my left hand. My spirit might change. And so I didn't worry. I know who I am as a man. I know the spirit I possess as a man. I know I don't quit. I'm a fighter, man. I'm a warrior, man.
There's still this thing inside of me that says, man, you know, at one point, I love that. You know, I could really do that. You know, that's what I sat in the park with.
There is a blessing in everything. Behind every moment of adversity in your life, there is a blessing and a lesson. Every moment of adversity has those two things. Pain always leaves a gift. Always. It's not going to change for you.
That's important for you, that will give your life some special meaning and power. And I don't even want you to say, I can do that. I don't want you to assume that. See, 5 years ago, when I started out in this area, I would not have been able to make the mental leap that I would be up to where I am right now. I don't want you to begin to just psych yourself out. No. I want you to be able to say something to yourself that will enable you to maintain a level of integrity with yourself. That when you say this, even when you face tremendous setbacks, it will be a benchmark to keep you in the game, to keep you moving forward and experimenting and readjusting your strategy and your plan of action, continuously looking for ways to win. So what is that something? When you got an idea you want to move on, you might not have the money, you might not have the education.
Everything you're going through is preparing you for what you ask God for. You just got to quit tripping while you're in the process, because the process is necessary. But when he gets you on the other side of it, you're going to see exactly why it went that way, and you're going to be okay with it. But quit tripping during the process. Oh, Lord, why me? You ain't the only one. Oh, Lord, why me? You ain't the only one. Oh, Lord, why I lose my job? You ain't the only one unemployed. Oh, Lord, why he leave me? You ain't the first chick got left. This might not even be your last time getting left. Pull yourself together and quit tripping, because you in the process. God is processing you. He ain't through with you. If he was through with you, you would not wake up in the morning. He gonna fix it. Everything is wrong. First, let me tell you this right here. Why are you tripping? I look back on my life at all that I've been through. So the stuff I'm currently going through, I have built up enough reservoir that living in the car taught me that this ain't it. So things I'm going through now, I know this ain't it. That he gonna come get me in a minute. So all I gotta do is sit tight. I ain't in a bad place. Now I ain't where I wanna be, but the spot I'm in is better than where I was. I ain't homeless. So what I'm going through right now, y'all don't know, I got some challenges. People think when you get famous or rich that your problems is over. Oh, they got a whole new set of them for you. They got some stuff you ain't seen. Biggie wrote a song, said one time, more money, more problems.
Listen, if you're successful and you're not fulfilled, that's the ultimate failure. If you got people that love you and you're not feeling joyous and alive, something's wrong. And you know what it is? You got an old home you're used to. Maybe the home you're used to is not a very happy home. It's a home of worry, a home of frustration, a home of anger, a home of feeling everything's unjust. And so you find a way to get back home using whatever the environment you can use. How many of you know somebody who's always pissed off about something? How many of you know somebody who is always worried? How many of you know someone who's not really funny, but they think that they are? And they crack themselves up telling stupid jokes. How many know someone like this who cracks themselves up and they laugh so much that even though it's not funny, you find yourself laughing too? These people have different emotional homes. Some people's home is anger. They'll always find something to be angry about. It's what they're used to. It's their conditioning. So even when the storm comes in and messes up their life, they go right back to that same shit. Wouldn't it be nice to upgrade your home, your emotional home? What if you could live every day with a vast majority of the emotions you had were joy and gratitude and love and appreciation, even in the middle of COVID, even when somebody does something unjust, playfulness. What would that feel like if you were in those states every day, 95% of the time? When you weren't, you got out of it quick. You can make that change this weekend, and I'm not exaggerating an ounce. I'm not saying you're going to be perfect and never have a...
So what do you do when you fall down? Get back up, everybody. But I tell you, there are some times in life where you fall down and you feel like you don't have the strength to get back up. You sort of put a mask on your face when you come to school and pretend that everything's okay when it's not, and you go home and lay in your bed when no one's looking at you, when you don't have to impress anybody, and you're yourself. And fear comes in. You know the fear that you have as soon as you walk into the doors of your house. Maybe there's a broken home. Maybe you have doubt in your life. Maybe you don't know for sure what's going to be happening in the future, and it scares you. Maybe you're worried about what people think of you, what people say about you. Just that fear paralyzes you. And I just want to ask you today, do you think you have hope?
I said, if we don't do something, there's a strong possibility, if we don't have a sense of urgency about where we want to go and what we're trying to accomplish with our life, it's a strong possibility if we stay in this particular environment, that can one day be us. And I said, I don't know about you, but that ain't going to be me. I said, I'm going to do some things differently. I know everybody in our family have dropped out, went to prison, ended up in certain situations. I said, but that's not about I'm going to do things a little bit different. But every day we stepped out of our door, we would get hit with murder. We would get hit with robberies. We would get hit with drug dealers, and we would constantly see it, so much so to the point to where I would say, God, will my environment get me or will I make it? I know I'm driven. I know I'm ambitious. I know I'm passionate. I know I want to make it happen. I know I'm respectful. I know I never touch drugs, and I never will because I see the collateral damage. But will my environment, the thing that I'm coming in contact with every single day, will that snipe me and not my ambition and not my commitment and not my dedication? Or will you let me make it past this so I can show others that it could be done?
To find your way in life is not an external search. It's an internal search. Because God equipped you the moment he gave birth to you. God equipped you at birth with what you needed. He gave all of you a gift, all of you. Every last one of you, you're gifted. God never created a soul without giving them a gift. All of you sitting in here were given a gift at birth. He put it inside you. You ain't got to look under the ocean. It ain't on a mountain. It ain't under no rocks. He put it in you at birth. He gave you a gift. It is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift. That's the thing you should pursue. The scripture says your gift will make room for you and put you in the presence of important men. That's what your gift will do for you. Everything else you're doing has nothing to do with what God created you for. And if you're unhappy with your life, if you haven't figured your life out, if you're thinking there's more to your life than it is, it's because the only reason you have that question is because you're not living in your gift. Once you discover your gift, there lies your greatest chance for success. That's what God gave you, equipped you with. You just got to quit looking at gifts as running, jumping, singing, and dancing. Babysitting is a gift. If you're a smart student, smart is a gift. If people come to your house and in your kitchen to get their hair done instead of going to a salon, you do hair. That's your gift. If they can't have a bake sale without your pies and cakes, you bake pies and cakes better than everybody, then that's your gift. You bake pies and cakes. That's your gift. You don't have to think about it. That's what you do. Quit trying to do what somebody else is doing, because that ain't your life. You don't even want to come the way I would. If you knew the path I took to get here, you would not take it. If I'd have knew People say, all I want is a little more grace. Because guess what? He passes it out and he gives you things you don't deserve. I do not deserve this life I have. I'm just telling you flat out. The money I make, where I live.
Meaning, you ever been in the airport and when you don't get your flight on time, you get delayed and you could be standing by some people and they get mad and they almost make you mad. You're like, man, I wasn't even trying to get mad, but they making me mad. Never even realizing life may be protecting you from something. Like it's like the 9/11 incident. I was doing some research on it. I'll never forget. I'm doing research on it. Terrible incident. A lot of people lost their lives. Senseless act. And it talked about in this article the other side of it. And in the other side, what they spoke about was that morning, a gentleman had to take his daughter to kindergarten, and he really wanted to get to some meetings, but because he had to take his daughter to kindergarten, he couldn't make it to the meetings on time, and so he just called out the whole day, and his wife asked him that morning, he was getting dressed, his wife said to him, can you please take our daughter to kindergarten? He said, I really need to be at these meetings. She said, can you please take our daughter to kindergarten? I really need to be at work. He said, I really need to get to these meetings. She asked him one more time, can you please? I beg you, can you please? He said, all right, I'll do it. He called in, didn't go to work that day, and because he took his daughter to kindergarten, it spared his life. When do we control the controllables? Attitude. When do we control the controllable? Focus. When do we control the controllables? Commitment, dedication. Spirit, the energy and the passion that I bring into an environment. When do we control the controllable? I couldn't control.
You know, that is an infinite mindset. Infinite mindset is fundamentally constant improvement. So, you know, there's big change, there's little change, there's tweaks, there's dramatic change. Sometimes it's reacting to changing cultures, changes in culture, politics, technology. You know, sometimes the change is our own, sometimes we have to react to it. We have to change. There's always opportunity to improve something. That people fear change, which is just fundamentally not true. People fear sudden change, you know? But incremental change is not threatening. People fear change that threatens them, right? And very often the way we change manage is we do lots of PowerPoint presentations about what's coming and don't worry, and we have all these things, and we treat it very rationally, and what we're ignoring is the emotional response. Now, there are some people who love change. It's an infinite-minded thing to embrace uncertainty, to see opportunity in surprise. For some people, especially people who have gotten good at doing something for 10 years, 20 years, that all of a sudden you say you're going to change it, they fear, again, there's that emotional word, they fear that they won't know how to, or it will set them back. And so no number of rational assurances will help them get over that. At some point, we have to just let them go through the process.
People fear change. No, they don't. People fear sudden change. You know, gradual change is not threatening. You know, evolution offends no one, you know. And sometimes the results of that evolutionary change can be profound, and there's no going back. People don't fear change. People don't want whatever's working for them to be disrupted, right? So it's not that I fear the change, it's that this is working well for me. I don't want this to change. Like, and I look at that with uncertainty going, is it going to take away this? Then I don't want it. And usually when people are resistant to change, it's not the change they're resistant to, it's fear that someone younger will take over my job, someone less expensive will replace me. It's fear that whatever's been working for me that got me promoted time and time again will no longer work. It's almost 100% fear-based. And so if you can just recognize that, instead of giving people PowerPoints with rational explanations why a change is good and you can look forward to this change, it doesn't, what you're attempting to do is address emotions with facts. You can never bring facts to an emotional gunfight. You have to meet people where they are. Emotion meets emotion, facts meet facts. So the first thing to do is sit down and understand and listen to people. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what you fear. Do you fear anything? And they'll always project. It's this that's broken, it's that doesn't work. But at the end of the day, and we have a rule at our company, which is if the response is above a 5, it's about something else. Like when you leave your fridge open and your partner screams at you, he's like, why do you always leave the fridge open? Like, it's not about the fridge, right? And so usually when people are that resistant, It's usually not about whatever change you're proposing. And so a good leader will spend the time to go and make that person feel heard. That's the most important part. It doesn't mean that they're going to get what they want, but people want to feel heard. And if they feel validated and they feel like their points of view are considered.
Fear is the only enemy, and it's not outside you. It's a pattern that anyone can trigger within and anyone can change. A decision made from fear is almost, because you make a decision based on fear, you're living in a world of scarcity of some sort. Would people rather be happy or outraged today? The overall population. You go online, you know that people want to be outraged, but why? Which human needs are met the minute you get really angry? Certainty. So it's because they're so fearful. They're so fearful, and they've been trained to be fearful because the fastest way to control a population is fear. Now, when you're feeling really uncertain, most people value certainty as a survival instinct. Then the other one is significance. How significant are you when you're ranting about how messed up somebody else is? 0 to 10, where would you put it? Yeah, maybe a 15. I would agree with you. So the two things they fear most, I'm completely uncertain what's going to happen, and I'm not enough. I get rid of both of those by ranting. And it works, unfortunately. The only problem is it works in the moment. So it's like sugar. Sugar will make you feel good in the moment. But then what happens an hour and a half later? Boom, you plummet. And that's what happens to relationships because of this anger. This is what happens to a community because of this anger. They are angry so they don't have to feel scared. They feel like they're not enough, and they're totally uncertain about their life. Fear is what stops everything. It's that you get up quickly and keep moving forward. If you keep moving forward, you will achieve whatever you dream. But you got to keep moving forward. And what will hold you back is only one thing. Fear. Fear you're not enough. Fear you don't know enough. You don't have to know enough. And whether you're enough or not, something loved you enough to give you the gift of life, a beating heart in your chest that you did not earn. Something in this universe, call it God, call it the universe, call it whatever you want to call it. Something expects you to become something more. That's why it feels so good to become more, to give more, to do more, to shape more, to break through, to overcome your fears, to strengthen yourself. And most will miss that incredible nectar of growth and expansion and contribution and meaning and impact and achievement because they let their fear dominate them. It's okay to have the fear. What we got to do is to be able to get beyond it and know it's just fear and not let ourselves come up with a story, because the story that protects you from your fear is also the story that imprisons you. Everyone on earth has two primary fears. Jot them down. Fear number one, we're not enough. We're all afraid at times we're not enough. You may not be feeling that right now if your life matches your expectations, but that won't last. And you're
The human brain cannot comprehend the negative. It is incapable. Okay? The human brain cannot comprehend the negative. You ready? Don't think of an elephant. Can't tell the human brain not to do something, right? And so what happens is we very often reinforce things when we put things in the negative, right? I can't get apart. I can't get apart. I can't get apart, right? Or I can't do this versus I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this, right? And it's such a huge thing to convert things into the. To do it with children as well. We're supposed to say, instead of saying to children, don't eat on the couch, we're supposed to say, eat at the table. We tell people what we want them to do, not what we don't want to do. Pilots know this, right? It is well known in the pilot community that when you tell a pilot, don't hit the obstacle, they'll hit the obstacle. Because what they're doing is focusing on the obstacle. Skiers know this. If you ever seen skiers go through trees, do you know how they do that? It's very easy. It's actually surprisingly easy. If you go through trees on skis and you go, don't hit a tree, don't hit a tree, don't hit a tree, guess what you're watching? You're only looking at trees. All you're doing You don't understand how anyone can ski with all these trees, right? As opposed to follow the snow, follow the path, follow the path. The only thing you see is the path. Skiers know this.
Here is the secret to ending your suffering. Trade your expectations for appreciation, and your whole life will change in that moment. The minute you appreciate something, your suffering is gone. It's just your expectations that are stressing you out. And sometimes not meeting your expectations will cause you to come up with a new way to grow or a new way to do something that's better than what you did before. What would your life be like if you made this decision today for real? Screw everything else. We've got a million other things we're going to do to improve your life. What if you really made a real decision? You said, I am not suffering anymore. Life is too short to suffer. I'm going to live in a beautiful state. I'm going to have a good time every day, no matter what. And I'm going to catch myself. I know I'll get off target for a minute, but I'll catch it and get right back in a beautiful state. The minute you stop complaining about your kids, but you look at the things you love in them, the minute you stop complaining about your partners and you think about what's a better way to get through them, this is a chance for me to grow and expand. The minute you appreciate anything, your suffering is over. Because loss, less, and never is always a lie. You don't lose something, you gain a new option. You aren't in a place where you can never do it again except when you believe that shit. Because whatever you believe, you're going to live. A new set of appreciations and suffering is over. Remember, there's an old phrase, it says, don't sweat the small stuff. And the second rule is, it's all small stuff, right? What would life be like if all the things you get frustrated by or stressed about or worried about, if you just wouldn't indulge in them anymore? If you started to, you catch it within 30 seconds or less and snap out of it and find yourself focusing on something you could appreciate or something you'd love or something you're grateful for or someone you love. If you were to train your mind and heart and body to live in a beautiful state every day, no matter what, how much more magnificent would your life be? How much more joy would fill your body? Because when you're grateful, suffering disappears, doesn't it? You can't be angry and grateful simultaneously. They don't go together. Every problem is temporary. Only your soul is permanent.
It's not. The majority of people don't have what they want in this world because you don't never ask God for it. You tripping, man, because you think it's about you. You think it's you. Oh, no. It's not. You got to ask God for stuff. He created you. You got to ask him, your maker, for things in this world. You keep trying to figure out why you ain't got it because you ain't asked God for it. Keep trying to figure it out yourself, how that's working for you. Huh? You better get to asking. You better get to asking. Just why would you not? All you got to do is ask God. That's what I do. Everything I got, I ask God. I'll show you my vision board. It's everything I'm asking God for. The how-to is none of your business. The two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you discover why. So you need to get to the why. You're already born, but the only person that knows why is the person that made you. Your mama ain't got to know. Daddy don't know. Your creator knows. Ask, then you got to believe that he is who he is. So you got to know who you are and you got to know whose you are. You got to understand that. Then, after that, you got to be open to receive the answer. Quit tripping. Quit tripping trying to figure it out. The how-to is none of your business. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself. Get out here and get about it. Look, I'd love to sugarcoat this thing for you. I'd love to tell you, look, you can go out here and get rich, do a couple of things. That ain't happening. You got to get real doggish. You got to get downright funky if you want to make it. Now, like I was telling you before, if you want to be ordinary, you ain't even got to listen to me. Just go on about your business. If you think ordinary's cool, ain't no problem. It's some really, really wonderful ordinary people. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're going to have to do extra. You put extra on top of ordinary and you come up with extraordinary. It's no other way. I'm sorry. But here's the fact. All of you have extraordinary capabilities. All of you. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category. Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It ain't.
I deserve the best that life has to offer. I'm willing to work on myself. I'm willing to upgrade my relationships. I'm willing to answer the call on my life. I'm willing to go through some stuff to get to my stuff. It's worth it to me. It gives my life meaning and significance. I'm here for a reason. I'm ready to live life on my terms. You gotta be home.
It's really, you have to live your life in the expectation of wonderful things happen. God is a merciful God. He didn't bring you this far to leave you. He didn't set you up to fail. You're tripping. You're tripping, man. He only wants to progress his children. That's all he wants to do. Even if you're wrong, he forgives us. Just keep moving, man. It ain't nothing. This thing right here, really, man, you got to look. So many good things have happened to me. Now, look, I also had some painful moments in this like you. But, hey, I look for the bright side, man. I expect something good to happen. I'm back at work. I don't know what he was doing, but he done made a move for me because I ask him to all the time. And then I just sit in expectation and wait and see what he got for me because he got something for me. Somebody asked me a question the other day. If you could go back to any period in your life, what period would you go back to? I ain't ever had it this good. This is the best my life ever been. You gotta be nuts. Man, you wouldn't want to be 25 again? Are you kidding me? The 25-year-old dude that was me? I'm so glad that idiot is gone. No. 63 years old, man. It's the best my life ever been. You know what I'm saying? But that's a scripture, though. If you honor me, your latter days will be greater. So all I do, I just honor him, and he gonna keep shining on me. I got it figured out. I ain't even worried. 2020 was a rough year.
Hungry. I never forget Mr. Washington said, Mr. Brown, what do you want to do with your life, young man? I said, sir, I want to take care of my mother. He said, how do you plan to do that? I said, I'd like to become a disc jockey. He said, you got to be hungry. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. He said, people that are hungry are relentless and unstoppable. No excuse is acceptable. People that are hungry work on themselves. How do you plan to do that? How do you plan to get the money to take care of your mother? What do you bring to the table of life, Mr. Brown? Sir, I want to be a disc jockey. That's what I want to do. I want to be on radio. Good. Here are my car keys. What do I need this for? Well, there's a guy named Paul Harvey. He does a program called The Rest of the Story. He's the best storyteller on radio. Listen to him. You want to be successful? He said, watch and study people that are doing what it is you want to do. Those who master it, and you want to study them. Success leaves clues. I said, yes, sir. I will. And I listen to this guy, Paul Harvey, every day. And finally, I said, Mr. Washington, I've done what you told me to do. I listened to him, and I've created my own program. You told me it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Yes, I did, Mr. Brown. I said, well, I've done that, sir. I have my own concept, my own show. I've been practicing. I've visualized myself being on the air like you told me. Good. Let us say together, relationship capital. You want to create relationship capital. You can't do it by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. Relationship capital. Al brings a set of skills and values and imagination and energy and creativeness and unstoppable spirit that helps me go to that next level. The things I'm going to be able to do with him that I could never do by myself. That's what's most important right now. And not just be consumed by the distractions that are going on. Life will always be full of distractions. Dimple said, if it ain't one thing, it's a that will give you the tools, the mindset, the mental resolve to handle whatever life throws at you. Why, Les? Because whatever life throws at you, you have in you. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. You have in you to handle it. You have built-in greatness. You have built-in power, authority, and dominion to handle whatever life throws at you. And life is going to be throwing a lot of stuff. Nobody's going to be spared. That's why Viktor Frankl called it unavoidable suffering. But suffering is a choice. You have a choice because you can suffer or you can choose to do whatever you need to do to liberate yourself, whatever you need to do to reinvent yourself, whatever you need to do to get the help that you need to overcome whatever you are stuck in right now. It does not have to be your residency. And finding peace. Make that a priority. People talk about goals and dreams. You know how many people have achieved their goals of earning a lot of money, of becoming celebrities in a miserable? Look here, I've lived that life. And it's important to get still and find out what is it I need to do to find some peace in the midst of all the stuff that's going on. And take care of you. Stuff's happening to people all around you. Take care of you. It makes sense what Iyanla said. Give to yourself until your cup runneth over, and then give to others from the overflow. This is a time to be selfish. Did he say?
It only takes 10,000 hours. It is not the darkest moment that's the problem. You the problem. And your perspective is the problem. You thought you was just going to have a dream and a goal, and you were just going to wake up and just walk into the sunset. You're like, dream, boom. It don't work like that. You have a dream, and then life punks you. Life punks you and say, do you really want this? I'm going to give your wife MS. Do you really want this? You're going to lose friends. Do you really want this? Your mama going to be pissed when you write the book about your family. Do you really want this? Do you really want this? Cousins going to abandon you. People that you used to be like this with going to think you bougie and don't want to deal with you. It's a part of it. But I paid too much. If I was going to quit, I would have quit in the abandoned building when I wanted to commit suicide and take my life. And I don't talk about that because I don't want to give nobody ideas. I should have quit when I heard my voice say, your mama don't want you. Your own daddy don't want you. Take your life. I got through that. So why I'm going to quit over a grade, an F on a grade? Why would I quit because I didn't do well on the master's degree? Come on. And so I'm telling y'all, you have come too far to quit now. You have invested too much to quit now. You have lost. Do you really want this? Cousins going to abandon you. People that you used to be like this with going to think you bougie and don't want to deal with you. It's a part of it. But I paid too much. If I was going to quit, I would have quit in the abandoned building when I wanted to commit suicide and take my life. And I don't talk about that because I don't want to give nobody ideas. I should have quit when I heard my voice say, your mama don't want you. Your own daddy don't want you. Take your life. I got through that. So why I'm going to quit over a grade, an F on a grade? Why would I quit because I didn't do well on the master's degree? Come on. And so I'm telling y'all, you have come too far to quit now. You have invested too much to quit now. You have lost too much to quit now. Get a reward for your pain. Don't cry about it. Don't whine about it. Get a reward for it. And guess what? People rock with me because I know what you've been through and I didn't quit. I know what you've been through and I didn't stop. I know what you've been through and I didn't whine. You know what I did? I got my reward for it. And not only did I get a reward for it, my wife got a reward for it. My kids got a reward for it. They're going to live a different life because of what I went through. And had I quit,
I would have been just like my father who left me with nothing. I'd have been just like my grandfather who quit. So I've been in circles and in families and environments where people take L's. I don't take L's no more. No more L's in my life. All we do is win, win, win. No matter, come on, say it with me. All we do is win. Come on, all we do is, come on, all we do is, no matter, come on, all we do is, come on, all we do is, no matter. So take quitting out your vocabulary. Take it out. Cry if you must. Rest if you must. Rest. And it's a lot. You're not alone. It's a whole bunch of us here. It's a whole bunch of entrepreneurs here. Don't you ever lie and say you're alone. You choose to go in the corner and cry. You choose to go in the corner and close the door. You choose to be alone. We are here, and we're here for you. So one more time. All we do is, come on, New York. All we do is, no matter, all we do is, no matter. Take losing out your vocabulary, guys. Get to the end and get your prize.
You see, a lot of people need things to get motivated. A lot of people need a little extra money to get motivated. A lot of people need, whatever the case may be, a little bonus to get motivated. I don't need anything but breath in my body and life. And every day I wake up, I understand I got 2 children depending on me. I understand I got a wife depending on me. I understand I got a world that needs me. The reason I go at life with the passion and the zeal that I go at it with is because I understand every day of my life is somebody in the world that is dependent on me. It may not be you, and if it's just about you, you're in trouble because I'm telling you, you're going to hit something in life that's a lot tougher than you, and it's going to test your will, and it's going to test your heart. And if it's just about you and if it's just about the product, it will crush you. Every day I get up, I understand. It's somebody in the free world that's looking at me to see if I'm going to keep going. And so I can't quit. And so I went back to school the next week after they had just saved my life. I was back in class. I had to learn how to write all over again. Had to learn how to walk all over again. Had to learn how to tie my shoe all over again. Had to learn how to bathe all over again. Had to learn how to live life all over again. Never one time did I say, let me go home. I need a break. Never one time did I go into the training room and said, I need some time off. Can you all just give me a little leave time? I need to go back home. I need some time off. My life just changed last week. And they came to me and they said, Inky, go home. We know how much the game of football meant to you. I said, yeah, you know how much the game of football meant to me, but you don't know how much life means to me. You see, the thing we have to understand about everything that we're a part of, first and foremost, it's a blessing by God. And when it's a blessing, you can't help but to give everything you got to it. My life got saved. I got spared my life. I almost died. The doctor came to me on the field. He was on one knee and he grabbed my wrist and he said, son, you don't have a pulse. I don't even know how you're still living. And my last doctor visit, they came to me and they said, sorry, Inky Johnson, you will never be able to use this arm or hand again in your life. I said, no disrespect to you, doc, but I will use this arm and this hand every day for the rest of my life by the way that I live my life. Every day I'm going to impact someone's life. Every day I'm going to empower someone. Every day I'm going to inspire someone. Every day I'm going to encourage someone. The thing we have to understand, what business are we in? Protocol, they call me in the world, they say Inky's a speaker. Inky's a motivational, whatever the case may be, Inky, whatever it is. But what they don't understand. The thing we have to understand, what business are we in? Protocol, they call me in the world, they say Inky's a speaker. Inky's a motivational, whatever the case may be, Inky, whatever it is. But what they don't understand, I'm in the people's business. I'm not a speaker. I'm a servant. Anybody that has direct contact with people on a daily basis, that is an opportunity to change someone's life.
What for you going forward? If you get to write, direct, and produce your story, which you do, what's the story going to be about? And what are going to be the primary emotions? Is it gratitude? Is it passion? Is it hunger? Is it drive? Is it persistence? Is it determination? Is it faith? Is it courage? But if you made them dominant in your life every day, they would change the story of your life. If you woke up every day and you did something bold, something difficult, you were courageous, or you were playful, or you're more grateful every single day, or more loving, or even more caring? What emotions will be in your news story that'll drive it? And what role will you play? Instead of the pawn, what will you be? You know, Martin Luther King did not know how to change America, but he knew what needed to be done and why. And when he gave his speech, I Have a Dream, he didn't know how to make it happen. But he was able to inspire people and put them in a different state, and our country changed. Our country still needs to keep changing. But, you know, a couple of decades later, an African-American, President Obama, became president for 8 straight years, voted by mostly white people. There's more white people there than there was anybody else in the culture at that time. So think about it. The world can change. Or President Kennedy, when he said, we're going to put a man on the moon in this decade and bring him back to the earth safely, the people in NASA were like, he's insane. We don't have the reason. We don't know how to do that. He goes, I don't care you know how. This is what we're going to do, and this is why we're going to do it. If you get a strong enough what you want and why you want it, you can figure out how. And then we're going to look at what do you need to do to go from where you are to where you want to be. What's gotten in the way? You know, what gets in the way in anybody's progress, whether you're doing well and you want to go to the next level, or whether you're having a challenging time you need to turn around with. And we're going to walk you through that experience. And then we're going to give you, I like to do things experientially, because, you know, your mind can convince you of all kinds of things, but we have an experience, you know. As I always tell people, a belief is a poor substitute for an experience. You can believe you know what China is like, but if you've never been there, it's just a belief. You go to
End of the day in life, it's only 2 things that matter. And it's not about the biggest car, it's not about the biggest house, it's not about the bank account. It's only 2 things that matter. It's about who we become in life, and it's about what we give back to life. And I don't know about you, but every single day I'm blessed to be above ground. I'm gonna make my time count, and I'm gonna give something valuable. Time count, and I'm gonna give something valuable back to life. Please don't be the people in this world that become a public success, but they're private failures. I said, this isn't about your legacy. Like, you're not working every single day feeling as if when you do something, if you're blessed to reproduce, one day when somebody go up to your seeds or your children, because of how you did it, they're like, man, that's your father, you good. Right? You don't want to do it in such a way that when somebody see you, they're like, man, if it has to be done, that is the way you do it. You're not doing it in such a way to when you do it, they're like, hey, you want to see how it's done? Let me turn on the tape so you can see this cat and see how he coming every single day. Not inconsistency. Right? Like, I was one, I didn't care about talent. Right? I didn't care about skill set. Right? Because I understood talent and skill set might betray you along the journey if they don't have a consistency of mindset and they don't have a certain level of fortitude in every fiber of their being.
I think most people don't understand the power of having something big you're going after that means more to you than the pain you're going to have to go through in order to get it. I don't think enough people set huge, big goals that are from the heart. Don't you agree?
Yes, you said that. I was listening to you last night. You know, Dexter Yeager, as you know from Amway, he said if the dream is big enough, the odds don't matter. And so when you say dream big, that's major. One, there's power in pursuit, because as Jim Rohn said, it's not the accomplishment.
What you put out is what comes back. So if you say, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to enrich my life, I'm going to have a top quality life. This is how it works. Your brain is divided into 2 halves: good, positive, negative, and evil. Good and positive, negative and evil. Your mind don't work on no other principle. It's either right or wrong, good or bad, righteous or evil. It don't operate no other way. Skip anything else you've ever heard. There are in each side of the brain millions of factory workers. In charge of each, he said, people's opinion of you is none of your business, nor should you make it yours. You get in a lot of trouble worrying about what somebody think about you, when really, what difference do it make? Whether they wrong or right, what difference do it make? The majority of people who have a negative viewpoint of you really don't even know you. What I found about being successful is It wasn't me who changed. It was people's opinion of me that changed. You know, I got more, and I'm the same dude, but your opinion of me has changed. Now you think I'm all that. When in actuality, I really am humbled by all this. I really can't believe God let me have it. I really do understand that I am here but by the grace of God. I'm clear about that. I am so clear about that. It ain't me. It's not me. See, I know the decisions I made.